Hello horror movie lovers, I'm Trenton and I love movies just like you, obviously. So I just watched MALUM because I feast on the wings of angels. My expectations were neutral, leaning a little bit towards high due to the fact that this is a reimagining of a movie I could never finish due to me always falling asleep. But did the movie meet my expectations? No, it did not. I really didn't like this movie, but I really wanted to.
So everyone's entitled to one good scare.
A rookie police officer willingly takes the last shift at a newly decommissioned police station in an attempt to uncover the mysterious connection between her father's death and a vicious cult. The first 3/4 of this video will be spoiler free, then the last fourth will contain spoilers. Don't worry, I will give you a warning before we enter spoiler territory. The movie is really only centered around one character. I don't even remember her name. There's a couple side characters, but the roles are so minor to the point where I don't really feel a need to mention them. Jessica, that's her name, was okay. I really don't have a lot of thoughts on her character, but to be honest, I wasn't really feeling for her throughout the movie. I was just thinking to myself, why the would she even do this? Like, what? The story is fine for the most part, nothing inherently special, very similar to Last Shift, which is kind of the whole point of this movie. Pretty much the same movie with a bigger budget and a wider scale. It's still for the most part a walking simulator just like Last Shift. Very predictable with a couple cool elements sprinkled here and there, but still not that interesting. The writing was definitely not good. There were just too many stupid decisions being made from our main character to the point where you're watching the movie and wondering, why the are you not leaving after seeing that shit? You can literally leave right now, but you're just not. Also, the jump scare setups are blatantly obvious, and this movie definitely has some very cheap scares that honestly piss me off. Like, ugh. I will say there are a couple genuinely good subtle scares and like maybe one good jump scare, but again, for the most part, the bad ones outweigh the good. The editing of this movie was pretty bad at times, not gonna lie. Some scenes just had way too many cuts to the point where it's noticeable. Like, why are you cutting 3 times in the span of 4 seconds for something that doesn't really need it? That was strange. The cinematography I'd say was pretty decent. Again, it's Last Shift with a bigger budget and wider scope. The police station is noticeably way bigger and was properly lit. I actually really don't like the lighting in Last Shift. It hurts my eyes. But when it comes to shots, camera movements, and the visual aspects, there isn't really anything special in that regard. The effects were the biggest highlight of the movie. They were predominantly practical with a couple questionable VFX moments sprinkled throughout, but it was mostly practical, which we love to see. The gore and the kills were also pretty good. One in particular stuck with me after watching the movie, and they also implement this glowing eye effect in some of the darker lit scenes, which I always love to see. Think Diane from Lights Out. The tone is heavy. Definitely something that would need a trigger warning, so if you are prone to a certain subject matter, I'd definitely do some research before watching the movie, if you still decide to watch the movie. The pacing was slow as fuck. Oh my god, I was falling asleep again. Maybe it's just this concept that makes me sleepy, or police stations make me sleepy. Other than a couple good moments in the movie, it is still just a walking simulator, and for a walking simulator, you should at least try to make it intriguing and fun, but there is nothing intriguing or fun about this walking simulator in particular. The life lesson that I learned after watching MALUM was that you should always get a psych evaluation before applying to any job, whether that's Chuck E. Cheese, an abandoned police station overrun by satanic cult members, etc. I should have made a better example. Those are pretty much the same thing. Overall, again, I didn't really like this movie for the most part. A couple moments and scenes I did like, but I personally feel like that's not enough to save the movie. I'm gonna have to give MALUM a 4 out of 10. We are now entering spoiler territory. If you haven't seen MALUM, watch it, then come back to the video, or if you simply don't care about spoilers, keep on watching. In this portion of the video, I'd normally break down the movie, go more in depth with my likes and dislikes, as well as my favorite scene, favorite kill, and least favorite kill. But I'm just going to skip my in-depth likes and dislikes, because ultimately I feel there really isn't anything to go in depth about regarding what I liked and didn't like about the movie. Again, we are now entering spoiler territory. The movie starts off with footage of a bunch of presumably cult members frolicking in the woods, as well as doing other fun activities such as praising the Lord, kidnapping women, murdering women, feeding animals, hanging around, etc. We then transition to a police officer who seems to be in distress and in some sort of trance in the Lanford police station locker room, mumbling something that's undecipherable. We then cut to 2 other police officers in a shooting range conversing until the police officer from the beginning kills both of them by shooting them with a shotgun, then turning the gun on himself. Honestly, I enjoyed this whole opening sequence. It was very shocking and abrupt, and it genuinely had me excited for the rest of the movie, but you know. We then cut to 1 year later where we meet our main character Jessica as she's getting ready for her first shift working as a law enforcement officer. Before she goes to work, she stops by the local cemetery where it's hinted that the guy who killed the police officers at the beginning was her father. This is when the movie started to go downhill and turn into a walking simulator, so I'm gonna speed through the rest of the breakdown. A bunch of strange supernatural events happen to her while she's working her first shift at the police station, making her question if what she's witnessing is actually real or all in her head. In the climax of the film, the police station is overrun by cult members, forcing her to have to fend for herself against them. While she's wiping them out, she wanders into this room where she sees a ritualistic shrine and a group of cult members huddled around her. When it's then revealed what the higher power they worship looks like, and yeah, yikes. Scary. She's truly had enough of this bullshit and proceeds to start shooting at their higher power. Nothing seems to work until its face peels off and flies towards her. Seeming to transport her back into the hallway she was just in. She then proceeds to start shooting at the cult members again, but there's one just standing there staring at her. She proceeds to shoot it, where it's then revealed that it was her mother. When she realizes what she's done, she's in shock. She doesn't know what to do. The cult members circle her, mocking and laughing at her pain. She then proceeds to kill herself, and then the movie basically ends. Okay. Now, when it comes to my favorite scene, I'm stuck between two in particular, but to be honest, I'll probably just go with both of them. My favorite scene would have to be the best jump scare, because I think that whole scene when Jessica was locked in the cell with the homeless man was actually really good, surprising, and actually had me excited to see what was to come later on in the film. But based off the first half of the video, you can concur that the movie didn't really live up to that scene. My other favorite scene of the movie was this scene.
Kill them when we have to. And that day, I had to.
It's subtle scares like this that I actually really enjoy. The glowing eyes, the sudden voice distortion, chef's kiss. Mwah!
Whoa, what the hell is you doing? Oh my God. We ain't never did that before.
There's also a couple other subtle scares throughout the movie that I actually really did enjoy as well. My least favorite scene would definitely have to be the body bag scene. I just didn't like it overall, and I just really hate how that scene was edited. The jump scare just felt so cheap, and I just didn't really understand the point of the scene as a whole. Like, why? My favorite kill would obviously have to be the decapitation. It just really shocked me how abrupt and graphic it got all of a sudden. Like, there were other graphic kills in the movie that were decent, but this scene stuck out to me. The rope getting tighter as Jessica tried to help, the victim's finger snapping, her eye popping out of the socket, which was kind of a questionable VFX moment, but I didn't mind. In the moment, her head popping off and drenching Jessica in blood. I genuinely really liked that kill. My least favorite kill would have to be Jessica's mom's death. It was just so predictable, and I saw it coming from a mile away. Throughout the entire movie, we couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't, so when she picked up that shotgun, I just knew it was a wrap for mommy. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos from me, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Alright, horror movie lovers, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.